my friends, welcome back to my channel and happy December 1st to everyone. I know this to be true because my backyard is buried in snow, so it must be winter and that means it's December. So what I thought I would do for today's video is give you a little preview of my December daily or my Documenting December album. And so you may notice that this does not say 2020 because this is my album from last year. So I'm just now completing my 2019 album. I didn't give myself a time frame to get it done. I just worked on it when I could, and so this is basically finished. And so I'm going to just show you some of the choices that I made and some of the pages and how I plan to move this project forward and get it finished and then start on 2020. So I did create my own cover. So what I really wanted to do was work in a traveler's notebook size, but often my enthusiasm for a new project outweighs my commitment to finish it. So I did not know how far I would get with this project. I've never done a traveler's notebook before and finished it. I have never done a Documenting December and finished it. So I just really did not want to set myself up for failure. I wanted it to have something that was fun to work on and didn't seem like a chore. So instead of working in an actual traveler's notebook where the pages were predetermined for me, I decided to create my own book. So this size is very intentional because I did like that orientation and the size of the traveler's notebook, but I wanted to make as many pages as it took to finish it, however few or as many, and then bind it all and call it a finished book at the end. Whenever I was done with it, I wanted to have a completed project. So this is basically the size C of a traveler notebook insert. And then I simply added a 1/2 inch on, and that is the space that the spiral needs to go through. So I've got 2 chipboard covers, and I've used my Bind It All to cut them. I didn't bind it until just recently when I had enough pages that I knew where I was going to be ending, and then I put it all together, and so now it's actually a complete book that is almost finished. And I picked my favorite plaid for the cover, and this is a beautiful journal card that came from a simple story collection. I've been hanging on to it, waiting for just the right project, and so this works really well. I had some thickers here from American Crafts. These were sent to me when I worked for Bo Bunny for 2 years. I designed for them, and then when they were purchased by American Crafts, we did get quite a lot of thickers and that kind of thing, so I stashed those away, and this was a great opportunity to bring them out. So I'm going with just that black buffalo plaid, and then to brighten it up, I got my beautiful journal card. Here's a little handmade flower with a button top that looks like a candy, and then my wording. So here's my cover, and then I wound up with a spiral that is 1 1/4 inches just to accommodate the bulk of what is in the book. So here is, I don't know if that's going to stay in focus, the book on end, and so you can see it did get pretty thick, and I'm glad I went with the bigger spiral so that it doesn't get jammed up in the spiral when the pages open. So our holiday did start in November. We had our Thanksgiving with my older son Alex and his wife Lindsay at their house. So we had our first family get together for the season with both sets of kids, and then us and my grand dog Holly. So I started my December daily on November 30th, and I just put in a selection of some die cuts that I had from my stash. I didn't pick up any specifically new December documenting kits or anything because I had a lot in my stash, and I will say that is one of the pleasures I have right now in life, is getting up early before the boys and having my coffee, and then I watch all of the YouTube videos of people gathering their supplies for working in their December daily, and I just am enjoying seeing what inspires people to be creative and what makes them feel festive and feel like, you know, it's a good holiday. And so I've really been enjoying watching those, and I don't have that just because I have too many supplies from brands that I worked for and for work, making cards and stuff. And I didn't want to pull supplies and have them in separate places. I don't want to forget that I have something if I need it or not utilize something. So I'm just going to continue to work out of my stash. And that gives me a lot of options for finishing my pages. So I've got a couple of pictures here. This is mostly done. There's a few pictures that I need to reprint and some that I need to print. For the first time, I was using a sprocket, which was a gift from Santa from 2 years ago, and I admit that it does really do a very good job at what it does. It has a lot of portability and it's instant. You can print your picture and take it with you. It has quite a lot of pictures in the cartridge, so it was very flexible. However, it was limiting to the size that you could print, and then it did appear to have like a vintage filter on all the pictures, so it was cool. And that's what it did, but that's not how I wanted to use it. So this year we decided that I'm going to ask Santa for a selfie printer, and so that's going to be my gift from Santa this year. So I'll probably reprint some of these. These were just done on the computer, but I may reprint some of them. These are probably okay, and then I'll print the new ones that I need to finish the pages. So here are my son and daughter-in-law, and they wore some cute matching sweaters. We were previously taking their picture for the Christmas card. I'm not sure that will be the way it is this year just because of distancing, but so they had a cute little matching sweater set with their little pooch Holly, and she's so cute. So for this page, I really wanted to feature more pictures of Holly because she's my first grandchild, and I found this card at the dollar store. And it was already the perfect size, almost kind of a skinny slimline card. It had holly jolly on it and it had plaid, so it was very perfect. This is not added on. All of it came just as it is, and it has a little bit of sparkle to it. And the holly leaves are dimensional, so that is really cool. I just added it to, it was almost wide enough to fit the page. You see there's a little bit of strip here, but that gave me a whole nother set of pages for pictures of Holly, and so she is really cute. She had her sweater and her hat on. She really loves her sweater. She will wear clothes and she gets cold, so she likes to bundle up, but she does not like her hat very much. And so these are pictures of her looking kind of unhappy, but she is so adorable. So I kind of made it like a film strip and had all of these pictures lined up. There's a couple of die cut sentiments in here. This paper in the background, I don't know how close I could get that, is from Authentique, and it has little paw prints on it. So that is perfect for documenting pictures of your pets for the holidays. And so I'm going to use my typewriter for many of these journaling opportunities because, number one, I don't like my handwriting. If you've gotten a picture or a package from me, you will know that it looks about like a 5-year-old child. And I don't really enjoy creative writing. So what I put in here will be just the facts, details, and names and dates, and that will be pretty much it. And that's okay because, like I said, I don't want to pressure myself into making this a chore. I want it to be fun, and I want to be able to look back at this and not think, oh, I had to write all this stuff. I just want it to be a good memory. So here is my Holly dog, and she's all decked out with her Christmas finery. And this card was a good way to add more pages without a lot of additional bulk. So my pages are 110-pound cardstock folded onto itself as a double layer because I wanted them to be very sturdy so I could punch through them and keep them on a spiral and make sure that they didn't pull out. And so these pages are pretty thick. The book itself is pretty thick, but there isn't so many pages that it becomes too chunky on the side. So on this particular date, we also had the boys go, this is my son's house. I did get permission, by the way, from all the people in this book so I could share it online. They put the Christmas lights on their garage. So this is Tech Hubby up here on the rooftop. And I do have a couple of spaces here to fill in with my dates. I have stamp dates and all that, so I can do that. And then here is Tech Hubby and Holly Dog, and they are having a snoozle on the hammock, and they look pretty cute together. And I tucked in a little tag here for that as well. So I think overall, this book, when I envisioned what it was going to be, I had hoped for more interactive pages and some more like sticking outy parts and dangly bits, but I'm pretty happy with it. Overall, considering it's my first one, and I don't know that everyone finishes their first documenting December, I'm not really going to call it a daily because I definitely did not document every single day. And then also, I didn't use any actual Ali Edwards December daily product. So I'm just going to call this Documenting December or Remembering December. In that way, I will know that it's not every single day that I am documenting. Here's a little piece that I added. Like I said, because I did all my pages ahead of time, I was able to tuck in some little bits that helped the flow of the book. Not every story in here is in chronological order, but it's pretty much for the most part. What I wanted to do was utilize this pretty journal card. This like a 3x4 card came from Simple Stories, and then I just added it to some layers of pattern paper here. I put like a snow border and some die cut trees. I really liked that gold on the tree, so I use that on my frame as well, and so that makes it look a little bit fancy. And then I had a couple of the Simple Stories packs of stickers. They're almost too little to be for card making, but they work pretty well for this. So I utilized my envelope punch board and just made like a tab top for this so I would know where to flip it. And so I don't know that I'm going to call this my about page or my intention page, but I just wanted to remind myself when I was working along that I don't need this to be like an everyday, everything is wonderful and special and fabulous. I just wanted to remember that I'm remembering the season, not making more out of it than it needs to be important. So what I wrote here, and so this is the outside of this page, and I just used that inside and outside stitch detailed oval die. So I did get that nice stitching on both of the pieces. So it says the season is not made exclusively of big events, but rather a series of little moments, simple pleasures, and daily blessings. Remember to document the small stuff, as that's what life is all about. And so for me, I think that resonates because my kids are not little anymore, and we don't have the typical school play or class party. So what we're doing is just having some moments and making them special. And so here's another page. This is all from like Thanksgiving, but it was our first family holiday get together for this year, or for the season, I should say. Of course, we spent other holidays together, but this is Lexi, and this is my younger son John's girlfriend, my soon-to-be daughter-in-law, and her and I have, over the years, enjoyed putting together puzzles, holiday puzzles, and this year I picked one that was much smaller and easier to accomplish. We have had some in the past that have taken many, many weeks to get done and leave it on the counter. She has gone off to college now, so we don't get to see her as often, so it's not as easy to work on a big giant puzzle, but this worked really well and we had a good time. She's so cute and precious. And here's John being John, and he's kind of lounging. He was watching football on this day, so this is just a snapshot of where they're at in life right here, and that is nice. So this is my first story, even though it took a couple pages to get there. So that's why I'm saying it's not a daily, because I didn't do one page for each thing. So here's kind of a story for that. Now this is the set of pages that I still need to finish, and I've got a picture of my little coffee station, and then a couple pictures of my craft room, my shop with the Christmas trimmings out and all the lights. It's very festive, and so I'm reserving these 2 pages for that. And so when I get my selfie printer, I'll be able to get these done. But they do have some chipboard details and some stars, so it won't be too hard to finish that up. Now here is our decor, our Christmas tree. We have a very high ceiling, so we're fortunate. Oh, that light on the acrylic is bad. I'm so sorry. We have a pretty good opportunity to have a big tree, so we try to do that every year. And I did red and black buffalo plaid ribbon and all of the embellishments and ornaments that match that. And then it says all hearts come home for Christmas, which is going to look a little different this year, unfortunately, but this is how we decorated our house. I have in the past done a lot more, but like I said, my kids aren't little anymore, and so it isn't. It's a lot of work, and I enjoy it, but it isn't really appreciated by the same 3 people that live in our house every day. We're not able to have company this year, so probably not going to do nearly as much as we have in the past, and that is just the way it is. I'm not saying don't come at me in the comments, but I'm just saying we're kind of go low key this year, I think. So here's my acrylic piece. I'm trying not to get too much reflection. I wanted a lot more of these. I really love them. They're so pretty. But the bind-it-all that I have, it's the Zutter bind-it-all. It did not work well with this. And so a couple of times it got stuck in the machine part, and I was worried that I broke it. So after I got one of these done successfully enough to use it, I just abandoned that idea totally because I don't want to break my bind-it-all. So I do have one pretty page in here, and I might do something with it, but for now, it's just going to be as is. So here's another one of those smaller pages. I got a couple of die cuts here and layered them up and added a sticker. I'm trying to use some more stickers just because they're flatter and they work better for books like this. There's just 2 tags here. I joined them on a blank piece of paper that I cut the inside with, and then put some, was the 8th I took it, so I did use a couple of stickers that had the date on it. And so on the back, here is our tree in our foyer. And so we just put a slim tree up there by the blanket ladder. And this is very simple. It just has some tinsel garland and some starlights. And our precious boy Scooter passed away right before Christmas. So we put this candle, Tech Hubby got this candle for us, and we had that as a kind of remembrance candle. And so that is where we kind of remembered him for the holiday and that we missed him. Here's just, it's a flip, and I'll go back and add my journaling. So I probably am either going to continue to use my typewriter or switch to just printing something on the computer and cutting it out. And so here is our mantle in our living room, and it has a really large wreath on it and some subway prints. I really like those. I did put quite a lot of garland on and some like red poinsettias and lights, so that's pretty fancy. I had a lot of fun using some of these chipboard stickers, the thickers, so I was able to put some different sentiments on there, and it had really cute little snowflakes too that matched the gingerbread guy. So these are all like totally different collections I worked with, and I just pulled from whatever I thought coordinated. So here is a page that is a cider brewery. They do like hard cider. It's kind of local, which is odd because we don't really have anything out here in the country where we're at. So it was a little bit surprised that this opened so close to home. It's probably maybe 10 minutes from our house. But they had a really nice selection of hard ciders if you like that kind of thing. Or, you know, if you go to a brewery, it would be very similar to that. It had a really cool cabin-y vibe, and I was so happy because they had a little slim tree here as well. They decorated theirs a little differently than I do, but I thought it was really pretty anyway, and I really do love the hard cider they had there. I hope they're still around. I don't know. We have pretty serious lockdowns here. We're not really able to dine in, so they didn't have food service at all either, so I don't know how much they were able to stay open or serve their customers. So hopefully they're doing okay, but when they do open, we'll be able to go back. Here is another page that I just thought the background was really busy, so I covered a lot of it with a second piece of pattern paper that was just more of a neutral kind of a chevron pattern on wood grain, and so that kind of blocked out some of that holly in the background. And then I layered up some tags and some die cuts and a little die cut star here, and then I put some sequins on. So this is kind of just a decorated page to break up, because if I had put more of these pictures on, it would look really busy, and I wanted it to just kind of be a neutral place between sets of pictures. So that is for this page. Now, here's where I got into a little bit of a concern how I was getting my pictures printed. I'm probably going to reprint these just because I don't know that it captures all the light and color very well, and so I'm going to be very careful and pry those back up, I think, and then when I get the selfie printer, I will reprint them and add them underneath of the embellishments. So here is, how far can I get in that camera without it being out of focus? There is a bakery we have here in Howell called M Street. All you local friends will be familiar with that. And so Howell is, I'd say, about 30-ish minutes from our house here in Pinckney. And they have these crazy milkshakes, and they're just huge. This one is a Christmas tree, so they put like a Little Debbie Christmas tree cake in there, and cupcakes and pretzel rods, and they just make them massive and fill them up with all kinds of treats. And it has been our tradition, like when Lexi and John are around, we go and have a milkshake and have just a special treat day. And so we went on this particular night. It was the 15th of December, and the alleyway between the businesses, so kind of where the parking lot structure is, not really like a building, but just a parking lot, going toward the businesses, they had like a little alleyway, and it was decorated with all the beautiful lanterns, and all the little shops had their trees out and they decorated. It was just absolutely magical. So I definitely want to redo these pictures so that I can capture them better, but it worked out so nicely to get some pictures of the kids together. And it was a little bit cold, but not terrible. It definitely wasn't snowing on this day, and I really love these pictures. So what we did was we skipped dinner on this day, and then we went and had milkshakes, and then we went to the movies. They were playing Christmas Vacation on the big screen, so we went to the movies and had popcorn, and that was the best dinner ever, milkshakes and popcorn for dinner. I have a picture of that to include here, but it's mostly the marquee sign, and it was pitch dark, and it was all the neon. It's a very cool picture, but I don't want to burn up all my black ink on that, so I'm going to wait again until I get the selfie printer, and then I will add that. But that was just a really fun date evening, and here's a couple more pictures of that with Lexi and John in there. And then I put some ornaments that were part of another large card, and I just pulled them off of the backing so that I could use them with this pink paper because I thought it worked really well. And then I did have a couple of tags that I cut with the die cut with the tag die, and then I put my reinforcing dot on there. So this is just going to be our special evening out that we had on the 15th. And then so my last two pages, and these need to be printed as well, are going to be just a couple of pictures of the cats on here. Here's another one of those cards. I really got lucky and found cards that would work for this. So this is going to be Christmas morning, and that is pretty low-key this year as well because we just have a college student here at home, and he got an electric guitar, so there wasn't a lot of package opening, but it was kind of fun to see him have that. And so that will complete this book. So that, of course, is future Jenny talking, and it's not going to be hard to finish it. I've got it pretty close now, and like I said, it isn't exactly what I had imagined, but I think I do get some points for actually finishing the book. And like I said, this is also my first finished Traveler's Notebook, and also my first finished scrapbook. So I think I got a lot accomplished in this book. So my plans for that, of course, is just to print the pictures and finish these last couple pages and then decide on 2020. So I was sort of in the mindset of you're not really going to have a lot of fun stuff to do, and there maybe isn't going to be a lot of things to take pictures of, so it will be more of a challenge. And I was talking to my best girlfriend, Kathy Clement, and we were just deciding that, you know, it's just documenting it for what it is instead of trying to make it something that it isn't. Instead of taking a picture of the whole tree again because it's not changing, maybe just focusing on favorite ornament or making a nice cup of coffee and putting it in the coffee station. So there will be opportunities to document for this year. I'm not going to decide ahead how big or small the book is going to be. And so I have my first picture here for December 1st. This is our table right now. Tech Hubby is currently upstairs printing labels for me. This is my UPS shipment for today. It's got to go out. But I just wanted to document how much I loved this plaid tissue paper. I showed it in a previous video, but I am kind of obsessed with it. And so I've got all my packages lined up there, and then I'm going to get them to post when the Tech Hubby's done with them. So that was a reason to take a picture, and that could be day one. We also have some advent calendars I picked up with the Baby Yoda from Mandalorian on them, and so I think I'll get a picture of those. That will be cute. And then, so as far as the book goes, I'm not 100% sure yet, and because I was making kits last couple weeks, I had more time to think about it, because kits are a lot of busy work. You can logistic your next project or your next schedule or whatever. And so I think what I did was I thought about it too much, and I got a little bit of decision anxiety. I don't really know, but I thought what I was going to do is try for an actual traveler notebook, but make it myself and then make the inserts as well, so that I don't have this many pages in one book to try to fill. I would make it, out of nice paper for the outside using my scrapbook paper, and then maybe put 4 or 5 pages inside so each insert is a little bit smaller, and then make the cover. What I can do is put my elastics in so that I can decide to do 1 or as many as 4 by just jumping them together in the middle. So I think that will be a good way to go, and that way I'm not stressing out about how many pages can I fill or having too many pictures and not enough place to put them. And then I was also thinking about possibly doing a memory decks card box, but I think I'm gonna probably stick with these. I picked this really specifically because when we downsize, I want to be able to put these all in the same kind of like crate or storage thing so that I can keep them all together. So what I want to do is, if I do a cover and a regular traveler notebook, then here's where I got stuck, because I wasn't sure if I liked this paper, a diagonal, really large buffalo check, or do I like this small one? And then when I was looking for paper, I don't know how much that I lost because the camera said I've been talking too long, because that's how I am. But so anyway, I picked some of this paper out. I don't know, the plaids. Did you see the plaids for the cover if I do a traveler notebook? And then I found this one from Canvas Core, and I worked for them for a couple of years on their design team, so I got a lot of beautiful holiday papers, and I have stored them for the future project that would be best for them. And so I really love this all over pattern of sentiments with different fonts and on craft paper. I don't know if that sets a tone for the rest of the book. Do I have to do the whole book in vintage, or does it have to be just what's on the outside, and then I can do whatever I want on the inside? And so that's a little bit of decision anxiety. I'm just not sure what I want to do for that. But I think that I really like this for a cover. Not only is it very sturdy, it's not liable to show any fingerprints because craft is very forgiving on that, and it's pretty small overall print. And if I covered the book with it, see, it would be about like that. I could still put some embellishing on the front of them, and it would not detract from what this pattern is. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm gonna move 2019 forward into the finish category, and then start doing some foundation work for 2020. And like I said, I don't give myself a time limit. If I can work on it, I will, and I'm not going to pressure myself into it being perfect. I'm just really still learning a lot about this kind of memory keeping. So I'm just gonna have fun, and when it gets done, it's done, and that's how it will be. So that is where we're at for documenting December. I hope you all enjoyed this sort of chatty video. I don't have anything to link because this is all stash. If you're interested in seeing any product like process videos of my pages for 2020, you can let me know in the comments. I definitely will consider doing that when I have more ability to print my pictures better. It will be easier to pull things together and work on that. So let me know in the comments if that is something you're interested in. And then also let me know if you do this type of project, are you gonna continue it through 2020? And hopefully the inspiration to take a picture will help you do a thing that will ultimately bring you some joy. So if you have coffee, you're going to get a picture and put a whipped cream on it, and that will bring you joy. And so maybe continuing on this project through 2020 will help inspire a little bit of holiday festiveness. So let me know that in the comment as well. In the description, you will find links to our social media sites. I'm really bad about keeping up with those this time of year because I'm just a busy little elf and I'm trying to get stuff out in the shop as quick as I can. But I do post a lot there of things that you don't see here on YouTube. So if you want other inspiration, you can check there. We're on Facebook and Instagram. And like I mentioned, our Etsy shop and our blog, so you can find links to all of that there. If you're not already subscribed, I would love to have you join the family. And remember to hit the bell notification so you'll be alerted every time we add new content. As always, I'm wishing you a happy holiday and a productive day. And I thank you so much for watching. Bye.